All right, we are ready for our 12U Select 30 Top Prospect game. Bringing in their Matt Trebuchet. Ashlyn Sullivan is down in the dugout tonight. All right, Colton Mayfield is going to start things off. This is a red lineup. Mayfield, Bryce Burkhart, Kate Anderson, Matthew Rose, Reed Tinsman, Kayla Brandon, Joshua LaBranda, Kavanaugh, and Brandon White is the starting lineup today. As we are so glad that you guys have decided to join us wherever you are around the country watching the Select 30, both on USSSA.com, USSSAlive.com, and of course joining the conversation on social media at Facebook.com/PlayUSSSA. Well, we kind of wondering what we'll see. The very first game, Matt, I think it was really all about the pitching. Second game, it was all about the hitting and the home runs. Wow. And kind of a little bit of a mix of it in the last game, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, that 10-year-old game, the red team managed to 22 runs on 18 hits and 7 home runs, 3 of them by one player. And then the last game, of course, much tighter ball game. 5-3 was the final in the 11s, and the red team won that game, but the Navy team did have the bases loaded in the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 outs. But we're unable to tie it up and push us into extras. So now we're into our 12 and under top prospect game. And you see Mayfield foul that pitch off. 2-2 count. Nobody out. Top of the first.
Yeah, and it's interesting as we see Mayfield out of Oklahoma. This is the final game that we have with our second fence, and then we'll pull that back, and we're going to have to move our camera all the way on the other side of the fence to where our obviously 13 and 14-year-olds will play, but keep getting older. But the pitching continues to get better as you see a strikeout there for out number 1.
1 out.
Yeah, these 12-year-olds, Bernie, they pitch from.
Yeah, they pitch, as you see, Baylor, he is the pitcher today. Johnson out on left, Ramey in center field, Greenberg in right field. It's Martinez at third. We're in the shortstop. Rudis at second base, Robinson over at first base. Bryce Burkhart is the second batter for the Red Squad.
Bryce was a catcher that I saw on the watch list on day 1 of the S30 championship. So he was somebody that the task force was looking at all week long.
Bryce Burkhart out of Knoxville, Tennessee, pops it up. It's called for and caught by the second baseman for the Navy.
2 outs.
Rudimus makes the play, second out. This is Kate Anderson, Navy team hoping that the red team has nothing to jump around about here as they look to get a quick 1, 2, 3 innings. You talked about pitching wise. Owen Baylor, he's only going to get to throw 1 inning, so the goal is to come in and get that 1, 2, 3 lockdown set. Kate Anderson, Cade man out of Masonville, Louisiana, Yankee fan. Look at that. A little gun for an arm for the shortstop. Manville Marin. And it is a 1, 2, 3, top of the first for Owen Baylor. We'll check out the Navy team. We'll come to the plate for the first time when we come back for the bottom of the first in our 12U Select 30 Top Prospect game.
Funny thing about the overnight success story, it doesn't happen overnight. It starts here. Here. And here. And after all that, you still gotta earn it here. When you step in the box, you gotta be focused. You gotta forget the dugout, ignore the crowd. You can't worry about the guy on the mound, because in the end, there's only two things that really matter at the plate. You and your bat.
All right, there they are back here at Champion Stadium, our 12U Navy lineup. Johnson followed by Rudimus, Ramey in center field, Martinez in the cleanup spot at third base, Cooper Robinson batting fifth in this afternoon's game, Benjamin Greenberg in right field. It's Steven Spolita, the catcher, Marin, the great arm that we saw over at shortstop, and rounds out with James White, the designated hitter. Important to get off to a good start. I'm not sure that we've had a first inning today where neither team has scored, have we?
No, sir, we have not.
There's the red defense. Brandon out in left, Mayfield in center, Anderson in right. It's Rose at third. Labreda the shortstop. Cavanaugh is at second base. First baseman is Reed Tinsman. Bryce Burkhardt, I should say, is the catcher today. Ethan Patterson getting the call to the bump here to begin this game. Gets a good strikeout. Not a way to start things off. Some nasty stuff when you get him to bite that far out of the zone. Patterson out of Washington, Iowa. Chris Bryant, his favorite MLB player. He's pitched 2 no-hitters in his career. The youngest of 4 children, 2 older brothers and a sister, all played USSSA.
DNA.
This is Rudimus at the plate.
Healthy cut. Now, Bernie, these pitchers, they're pitching from 50 feet. The bases are at 70. And the fences are 250 down the line, 275 to center field. And we're playing National League style rules, which means you're going to see leadoffs and you're going to see steals and you're going to see moving runners over. You're going to see a miniature version of Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
And Ethan Patterson, he has faced 2 and he has fanned 2.
How about that for a start? That's what it's all about. You love to come in and have a quick 1, 2, 3 set.
And just like that, he's ahead of the batter, 0-2.
Love to come in and get a quick out. Garrett Ramsey. Ground ball from second over to first. That'll retire the side. We'll stay with you here for the in-between set as we get set to welcome into the broadcast the third member of our team today. Ashlyn Sullivan will be down in the dugouts. They do such a great job. Obviously, one of the unique things about this game is that we get a lot more access than we did a week ago when we were here for the Elite World Series. You can actually, interact with the players as the competition goes on. You can talk to the coaches. And prior to the start of the game, Ashlyn Sullivan got a chance to catch up with the head coach of the blue team. Ashlyn?
Thanks, Bernie. I just spoke with the coaching staff for the Navy team, and they said the biggest thing that they're impressed with is the mental understanding these kids have at such a young age, just 12 years old. They said at times, sometimes that's the toughest part about this game. It's just staying in your head and staying positive, which they've been doing a great job of that this week.
Yeah, and you think about the challenge, Ashlyn, of being a part of the Select 30 game. It's not your typical contest, Trebs, where, you didn't have a whole lot of games. You didn't have a whole lot of box scores. You're kind of being looked at based on, for lack of better terms, your athleticism, which is probably really, truly the reason why you got picked for a team one way or another. They were really trying to get deep into it and find out who are some of the most athletic players in this.
Well, I know that in one of our Q&A sessions that we had with the Players Association, a parent asked a question, about playing multiple sports and about athleticism and all that. And I believe it was Charles Johnson that answered the question. He says, look, he says, you can look at those top 10 or 15 draft picks every year in the major leagues, and all of those players are raw athletes. I mean, they're just athletes. And these major league clubs, they send them to the minor leagues where they teach them how to play the rest of the game.
Absolutely.
But you got to have that raw athleticism to start, and that's what they have.
Number 30, Matthew Rose.
Matthew Rose is going to lead things off. Rose is the batter here.
And Brody Mangold is on to pitch the second inning for the Navy team. As we stated earlier, each squad carrying 6 pitchers. Each pitcher has 1 inning.
Matthew Rose out of Clearwater, Florida. Lines this one back up the infield.
There's the first hit of our ball game.
There you go. It's all about the pitchers early on. Now finally we get to see a base hit.
Number 29, Green Tetzman.
And now this is Reed Thompson, or Tinsman, I should say. Excuse me. It really is absolutely spectacular, the type of professional treatment that these athletes are being treated to here. You take a look at, looking out, seeing your name on the video board, taking it all in. I'm sure that it goes without saying that this has got to be one of the most remarkable weeks for these young athletes to get to be a part of this Select 30 championship.
Well, I'll tell you, Bernie, making it to the top prospect game here, yeah, you got that fancy ring.
Yep.
And, yeah, your picture's up on the video board, and, yeah, your song's playing when you walk up to the plate. But all of that hails in comparison to the fact that they spent the week on the field every day with former major league players, honing their skills and bettering themselves as not only athletes and baseball players, but as human beings.
Absolutely. And, the amount of knowledge that was gained by these individuals during the course of the week, it was remarkable to get a chance to hear and listen, just to what these guys are talking about, just to the moment of the players and the experience, trying to coach them up the right way, trying to lead them the right way in their young careers.
Now come to the plate.
And there's a nice double right there by Tinsman. Puts runners on second and third with nobody out here in the top of the second inning. I'll tell you something else that these players got to enjoy this week is the Gulf Coast League rookie Braves play their home games here.
Yeah, they were all out here, right?
On the backfields out at Disney, and on a couple days, they got to see the rookies play rookie ball, you know, which is the purest grassroots of professional baseball.
Right.
These are the kids that just finished high school or just come out of a JUCO, and this is their first taste of professional baseball. So that is grassroots right there. And these athletes that were in the S30 championships this week got to take in some of their games free of charge, you know. So just great stuff. A great week all the way around.
Caleb Brandon. Of course, a lot of these athletes, of course, aspire to, you know, try to get to that level at the end of the day. You never know what the end result will be, but obviously, as you see this one, launched deep and gone, a 3-run home run. They want to be hitting bombs. Want to do what Caleb Brandon just did there, launch one out of the yard.
I don't know if our viewers at home can hear, but in the background you've got the siren playing in the stadium. You've got the song playing that plays at all the Major League stadiums. Right? Yeah, the same music and same action as goes on at the Major League ballparks. This is great.
This is Joshua Labrada coming to the plate. Red finally on the board. They get the first 3 hits of the contest, and they lead it 3-0.
Brody Mangold for the Navy team on the bump, settling in. Hopefully, the jitters are gone, and he can work himself out of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing as you see a pop out, and Joshua's retired because, you know, some of the pitchers, it takes them a little while to find their groove, and just the second that you find your groove, it's almost like you're out of the game at the end of the day too, right?
Yeah. Well, but and I do agree with that. You know, in a perfect world, you let every pitcher throw 3 innings. But you got to look at a few things here. Number one, it's really late in the year. These pitchers have all thrown enough,
right? You know,
thrown a lot this year. So this is a great safety device. You give each guy 1 inning. He knows he's only got to go out there and do it and get 3 outs. You know, protect the arms. I mentioned in one of our earlier broadcasts, you know, that all of this is all great and it's all wonderful. But the athlete's safety and the health of their bodies and the health of the pitcher's arms is ultimately what is most important.
Well, and you talked about it. We had so many of these athletes took part in the Elite World Series a week ago, and now they find themselves here. Of course, and everybody wants to play ball, particularly at 12U. You know, you're not going to find anybody that say, "Hey, take me out. I don't want to pitch."
Right.
They got this far. They want to be as much a part of it as they possibly can. As you see, White to the plate with 2 away. White the batter.
Looks like Brody has settled down into his groove. He's popping strike after strike after strike now.
Oh, 1-2. With 2 outs here. Pitch up and inside. Look pretty close, but it's going to be a count 2-2. Flipped on the infield. Ball finds itself in foul territory. Ready for the 2-2 once again. This one floated out to right field, and it is caught! Oh, wow, what a pick out in right field. We told you that we would see some defense before the day is done, and that was absolutely spectacular by Benjamin Greenberg, who lays out and makes an incredible play. But it was all about the home run as the red team gets on the board here in the top of the second inning. Zachary Bunza is going to lead things off. Here's another look at that play we saw to end the inning. That was incredible.
The leadoff batter for Team Blue, number 3, Luis Martinez.
A spectacular catch out there in right field. Yeah, some days they put it all together, right?
That they do. And if he doesn't lay out for that, that ball goes to the fence and is at least 2 bases, most likely 3. And Brody Mangold's facing another batter. It's always great to have good defense behind you. Xander Bretza on to pitch for the Red Squad.
It's a good name, right?
That is a baseball name, Xander. There you go.
Luis Martinez, sky high pop-up. Called for and caught. Out in shallow left field.
1 out. Now coming to the plate, number 34, Cooper Robertson.
Shortstop Joshua Labrada went a long way for that, but you know, he had a beat on it right off the bat. He was calling for it right off the bat, and his outfielder gave way to him.
Connor Robinson at the plate. Excuse me, Cooper Robinson, the batter for the Navy team, trying to get going.
And Xander Bretza wasting absolutely no time going right after Cooper here. Ahead 0-2. Good spot to miss right there. Catcher set up way outside. Nowhere near the strike zone. You never know when you're going to get the batter to fish. 0-2.
Robertson said that going to the World Series and watching the Cardinals, that's his favorite baseball memory. He's going to ground out, though. Ground number 2.
2 outs. Now coming to the plate, number 15, Benjamin Greenberg.
Benjamin Greenberg now. He is the one that made that spectacular catch shot in right field. But he grounds it over to first, and the play made, and that will retire things for the Navy team in the second inning. Ashton Sullivan will join us once again when we come back to Champion Stadium, 3-0, Red on top.
Qualifying is on to be a Boomba All-American, and this year's USSSA All-American Games have been expanded to create more opportunities for more players. This year, there'll be 24 regional showcase tryouts that will select 2 teams per region, with 12 players on each team, allowing the athletes to compete in an average of 22 innings of play during the tournament. Also new for this year is a 3-game single elimination championship bracket. Get evaluated in hitting, running, and 2 defensive positions of your choice for your chance to qualify for the Boomba All-American Games. Get more information at USSSAallamerican.com.
A spectacular day where we've seen some really great play, and a lot of players having a lot of fun, including Caleb Brandon. He's down in the red dugout, and he is standing by with our own Ashlyn Sullivan. Ashlyn?
Thanks, Bernie. Joined here with Caleb Brandon, who just hit that home run, last inning, 3-run homer. What does it mean to you to play in this game today?
Well, it's pretty cool because there's not many tournaments I can experience with such great competition, and yeah, it's just pretty cool.
Do you feel like these tournaments are making you a better ball player for the future?
Yes, definitely.
And how has your week been so far?
It's been pretty good. I had my ups and downs, but I came out to show what I can do in this game.
Awesome. Thank you, Caleb. Back to you, Bernie.
Thanks so much, Ashlyn.
Number 3.
So many of these players, they just continue to talk about the experience.
In the competition.
Yep.
And I'm a firm believer, and I heard many of the major leaguers saying this statement this week is, you don't get better by playing people worse than you. Meaning that the only way you're going to get better is to continue to play the best competition.
Team Red in the 3rd inning, number 23, Ethan Patterson.
Ethan Patterson at the plate.
And that's really what these athletes get when they come to a USSSA Super NIT or a Select 30 Super NIT or, the Elite World Series, the S30 Championships. That's where you're going to see the absolute best talent in the country. Gregory Willis on the mound for the blue team, for the Navy team here in the 3rd inning.
It's nice to see all those pitchers we'll talk about through the course of the game get a chance to have, pitch an inning at a time, come in and focus on what you need to do. Obviously, we saw the red team jump out to this, the really great advantage with 3 runs in the 2nd inning. Now the question is, what are they going to do here?
Ethan Patterson draws a full count, 3-2. Nobody out here. Top of the 3rd.
It's a payoff pitch. It's outside, and Patterson's going to draw a walk.
We go now to the top of the order. Number 1, Coleman Mayfield.
Remember this statistic I'm about to tell you, Bernie. 82% of leadoff walks in an inning score.
That's one of your favorite ones.
It's because it's true. The funny part about it is although 82% of leadoff walks score, only like 74% of leadoff singles score. So I'm not quite sure what the difference is there, because it's either case it's just a runner on first. but it's got something to do with the mentality of the walk. And I think it's what it does to the pitcher's psyche when he does walk the leadoff man.
Mayfield with a runner going, swing and a miss. Here's a throw down to second base and a stolen base there. But they get a strikeout.
1 out.
So I guess it works just about as good as a sacrifice. They're not credited that way in the book.
What a rifle shot there by Steven Spalita, the catcher for the Navy team. Of course, the batter, the strike on there, causing him to come out of his crouch early. But boy, he really rifled that ball down to second, made that steal much closer than it looked like it was going to be.
This is Bryce Burkhart at the plate. Ground ball. It gets through the infield. Here comes the throw home with a runner going. The throw is cut off. It'll turn into an RBI for Burkhart, who drives home the 4th run of the game for the red team.
Coming around to score is Patterson. Now batting number 31, Kate Anderson.
That right there was a textbook, perfect example of hitting behind the runner. You had a second baseman out of position.
Could be 2. They go to second and they get 1 back to first. And they can't turn the double play. K-Man, as they call him, from Louisiana, gets on board.
And he'll trade places with Burkhart at first base.
Number 30, Matthew Rose.
Runner going. This is the storyline. You come, you run, you take second, you get a hit, you drive them home.
That is taking advantage of every miscue your opponent makes. We talked about it earlier in one of the broadcasts, Bernie, about being aggressive on the base paths, and you can't be too aggressive. You always have to be ready to react no matter what happens. Pitch in the dirt, you're gone. Pitch it sails over the catcher's head, you're gone.
This ball lined into center. And the out made by Garrett Ramsey out in center field. Shuts down things in the top half of the 3rd inning. But the Reds score another. Navy coming back to the plate, looking for not just their first run, but their first hit in the 12U S30 Top Prospect game.
Funny thing about the overnight success story, it doesn't happen overnight. It starts here. Here. And here. And after all that, you still gotta earn it here. When you step in the box, you gotta be focused. You gotta forget the dugout, ignore the crowd. You can't worry about the guy on the mound, because in the end, there's only 2 things that really matter at the plate. You and your bat.
Prospect game, burning other Matt Trevisan, Ashlyn Sullivan. She's got the dugout view, which is great. You know, you're down there. She's really getting to take it all in. A little bit warmer for her down in the dugout than it is for us up here. Jake Held is in the pitch.
14, Steven Spalita.
Steven Spalita, catcher at the plate, leading things off.
You know, all 3, now that Jake's thrown his first pitch for a strike, all 3 of these Red squad pitchers have just attacked the strike zone this afternoon.
They have yet to allow a hit, and that story continues with the first out recorded here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Now batting number 1, Manful Marin.
is held out of Commerce Township, Michigan. It's in the Detroit area. Manuel Marin. Manny is his name. Manny Machado, his favorite MLB player. This one crushed into center field. And it is caught for the out.
2 outs. Now coming to the plate, number 2, James White.
Pitching economy, that's the storyline for this.
It has.
Reds pitching crew.
Ethan Patterson threw 11 pitches in the first inning. Xander Bretza threw 10 pitches in the second inning. And Jake Helder has got 2 outs and just threw his 7th pitch. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency.
White, little tapper on the infield. And look at this, looked like miscommunication. The pitcher didn't want it, first baseman didn't want it, and then finally, second baseman comes in, makes the play, and ends the inning. Well, Navy's still looking for their first hit, but the red team is coming back to the plate up by 4. All right, we are back here at Champion Stadium at ESPN's Wide World of Sports. Red team leading 4-0 as we begin the inning. Want to send it back down to the field once again and check in with Ashlyn Sullivan. Ashlyn?
Thanks, Bernie. Joined here with Brady Mangold, starting pitcher for the Navy team. How was your pitching today?
It was great. I had a lot of fun.
And this week, I mean, I'm sure it's grown you into such a better player. What do you think the outcome of this week was for you?
I learned so much, and it's helping me so much right now. And being able to be here with all these pro players and former players and coaches is making me learn a lot.
And what is your favorite part about this week?
Being able to pitch against these amazing players and being able to talk to them and having fun with them.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Brady. Back to you, Bernie.
Thanks, Ashlyn. You know, these kids, they love the competition. They love the athletes they've competed against.
Number 29, Reed Tinsman.
Reed Tinsman is at the plate. Tinsman, the batter. The staff has done such a great job of getting us some great bio, some great information as this one's popped up down the right side. It is caught.
Now coming to the plate, number 12, Caleb Brandon.
Caleb Brandon now, CB Breezy. He's an Aaron Judge fan. He gave us the statistic earlier about Judge. Almost assured was right here on these fields playing USSSA in the Elite World Series.
No doubt about it.
Said that being selected for the Select 30 is his most memorable baseball moment. Pitch is fouled away. Popped up to right. Out number 2.
Now stepping to the plate with 2 outs, number 20, Joshua Labrada.
I think Greenberg took a step and a half for that one. Hit it right to him. Austin Kerr here for the Navy team on the bump, and looks a little more poised and a little more settled.
Two outs. One and one. Labrada flew out in the second inning. Popped up. Moving over to the left side, called for and caught. And the red team blanked here in the fourth inning.
That hasn't happened too much here today.
We are back at Champion Stadium, burning up there. Matt Trebuchet, Ashlyn Sullivan down in the dugout. Our entire crew here watching and taking in all these great baseball players. Land, our new pitcher here. Land Maradis. Morales, thank you.
For Team Red.
It's out of Largo, Florida, not too far away.
Land Maradis.
Well, Bernie, we'll see if Land can mimic his 3 teammates and keep the Navy team hitless through 4. Once again, a red team pitcher just attacking the strike zone right out of the gate. Working ahead.
0-1. Pitch foul back. One and two. Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here in the fourth inning. So Owen Baylor do some good things pitching wise. He's at the plate. Nicknamed the Beast. And he lines it out into left center for a base hit. That's the first hit of the contest. Amazingly enough. Owen Baylor. Thought we were going to have like a combined perfect game.
Could have happened. Six pitcher combined perfect game. Well, Owen was the starting pitcher for the Navy team, and he pitched a beautiful first inning. Blistered right through the order, 1, 2, 3. In fact, that helped give us our first scoreless first inning of the day. Here it is, our 4th game, and this contest is the first one where somebody didn't score in the first inning.
Now back into the top row. Johnson 0 for 1, struck out in the first inning. Almost 2. That's the way to you give it back up, and then you at least make sure that the card in the book is in line, right?
Right, you almost erased it, almost. Throw is just a tad low on the turn, little trouble with the pick. Speaking of pick, attempted pickoff there. Is there any doubts, Bernie, that he's going on the first pitch?
Looks like he's got a great lead. They're checking him out again as Nico comes to the plate, a Ranger fan out of Austin,
there
Texas.
He goes.
And he still slides into play. How about that? That tells you that's some pure speed there, right?
Yes, a nonchalant throw on a pickoff play back to the pitcher. It's dropped, and just like that, he pounces on it.
I know the players, they love speed. Getting to see it here. This ball crushed. And God almost cleared the 13 and 14U fence.
That fence is 330 right there, Bernie, at one hop the fence, so that's an easy 325-foot launch. And we have ourselves a 4-2 ball game.
The offense has come to life here in the inning.
The 2-run home run by Nicodemus. Now stepping to the plate, number 33, Garen Ramey.
That'll pick up the Navy squad right there.
What a shot.
And it got out of here in a hurry. Garen Ramey steps in the box, center fielder. Finds himself in a quick hole, 0-2.
You're trying to respond. I guess the hard thing when you're the pitcher for the red team, and you guys have cruised along so well, so swimmingly in here, and then you give up the first 2 hits and the first 2 runs, you just have to recover, and it helps when your defense has got some guns like they do there. A nice little defensive grab by Joshua Labata for the second out.
Number 3.
Nice backhand.
Martinez. Correction.
Here's a look at that backhand pick.
Number 18, Austin Brothers.
Austin Brothers at the plate.
He will actually pitch the next inning for the Navy team. He'll pitch the top of the 5th. We use a special rotating pitcher at the at-bat so that every one of the pitchers, we try to get every one of those 6 pitchers in at-bat also, because obviously they're in the inning for 1 game. Well, you know, their spot could pass in 3 quick batters, so we try to rotate the pitcher so every one of them gets in at-bat too.
Well, got a ground out to end the inning. But the offense, it's come to life. Nico, 2-run home run. And Navy is on the board. Things are getting interesting. Headed to the 5th. Red on top of Navy 4-2.
Funny thing about the overnight success story, it doesn't happen overnight. It starts here. Here. And here. And after all that, you still gotta earn it here. step in the box, you gotta be focused. You gotta forget the dugout, ignore the crowd. You can't worry about the guy on the mound, because in the end, there's only two things that really matter at the plate. You and your bat.
All right, Navy back in the field, a whole new ball game as they trail by 2.
Number 3, Luis Martinez.
It's Martinez leading things off. There's Austin Brothers out of South Carolina. Here in the top of the 5th inning.
Leadoff batter in the 5th inning, number 21, Xavier Cavanaugh.
Xavier Cavanaugh leading off the inning for Team Red.
It's Luis Martinez. He was on the front.
Excuse me, Luis Martinez. Base hit. Cavanaugh back up the middle. Otis Brothers on the mound here. Ashland's going to try to grab our home run hitter in the next half inning. We talked about grabbing him, but he's out there playing second base. Taking it all in. Jake Held. Held takes a called strike.
Jake pitched the 3rd inning for the Red squad, the Red top prospect squad, and blanked the Navy team. And he did it on 8 pitches.
Brothers looking for a strikeout. Pitch inside. Haven't got a chance to talk a little bit about the infield chatter in this game, but obviously you can see hashtag infield chatter throughout the game, and it's been one of the big differences. Obviously the players have been here, but they've also been very interactive on infield chatter, social media platform built by Major League Baseball players themselves. They want to really connect with the fans on a more personal level. It's a platform built on the commitment of MLB players, and they're trying to get really involved in the development of the youth. It's one of the reasons why we saw all these players here all week long.
Well, when you hear them speak, Bernie, just the passion in their voices, they truly care about the future of the game, and they truly care about the young athletes that are playing the game today. They want those athletes to not only know and understand the fundamentals of the game, but they want them to advance, and advance in the correct way. It doesn't do any good to take 800 rounds of batting practice if your swing's not right.
Pitch fouled away.
Eddie Murray, you know, great career with the Baltimore Orioles. He used to, whenever Eddie would go into a slump, he wouldn't take batting practice. And a sports writer asked him one day, he says, Eddie, he says, you know, you've been in this slump for 5-6 days now, and you're not even taking BP. And Murray looked at him and says, what do you want me to do, practice bad?
That's true.
You know, and he would take off BP until he worked it out. And he'd work it out off the tee or soft toss or whatever, but he would not take live BP if he was in a slump, just because he didn't want to practice whatever it is he was doing bad at the time. He didn't want to practice it. Makes perfectly good sense to me.
Number 13.
There on the corners, Xander Bretza.
Xander pitched that 2nd inning for the Red squad, part of that 1-2-3 punch that blanked the Navy squad, but it took him 10 pitches to do it.
Pitch popped up, drifting.
in the seats, and a fan from Saginaw, Michigan snags that one.
Runners on the corners, nobody out. Runners going.
That one will go in the book as catcher's indifference. No credit for the stolen base.
One and two. The pitch. Looked pretty good from this spot here, from our vantage point at least. But they'll call it a ball. As a called strike, and the count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Strikeout here would be really nice for the Navy squad.
On the infield, they get a ground out, but I guess you know, the problem is you're trading a run for an out, and you're late in the game. Not necessarily an ideal situation because you're playing 6 innings here.
Yeah, you trading an out for a run in the first or second inning of a 6-inning game is okay. It's not something you really want to do in the 5th when you're already trailing by 2 and now by 3. You know, the Navy squad just got 2 of those runs back. Landon Marautis steps in, or Landon Marautis. Finds himself in a quick hole, 0-2. Runner on third, 1 out.
Grounded foul. Tapped on the ground.
Wow.
And that one scoots through.
C&I hit. A C&I hit.
About 73, our pitcher here. And that, you know, we're talking about not coming from the full 60 feet. That one really gets at you quick.
It does. You know, the thing about that dribbler there between short and third is in the box score, it's going to look just like a line drive.
Number 28, Joshua Pashby.
Catcher Joshua Pashby in the box. One count, 1 out.
Incredible to think, you know, Navy finally got on the board, finally got some hits in the bottom of the 4th inning. And then to jump right back on, as we see a swing and a miss there, they'll say it's a foul tip, so I have to come back to the bag at first. Daly City, California for Joshua Pashby. One, two again. Runner going to throw down. It's a stolen base. Trying to grab that extra bag. And the ball goes out of play, so looks like they are going to count the run. The 3rd of the inning here for the red team. Got him swinging, 2 away. So Pashby is retired.
Now batting Team Red.
And Evan McDonald
26, Evan McDonald.
is at the plate.
First base umpire steps in, had time on the before the pitch was thrown, so that's a no pitch.
Swing and a miss.
You know, Bernie, I'm not sure what went on, what transpired here with the Navy team's pitching rotation, but Luis Martinez, who started at third base, is actually on the mound now here in the 5th inning when Austin Brothers was supposed to be on the mound. So I don't know whether Austin tweaks thing, or maybe not feeling well, or it could be James White, the pitcher who was scheduled for the 6th, that may not be feeling well, or something may be wrong and they may be going to go with Brothers in the 6th. I don't know. I'm going to see if we can find out. Pass that word along.
Two and one, missed outside, 3 balls and a strike. Full count to Evan McDonald. Now, when you're a substitution, obviously a whole lot of plate appearances, a whole lot of at-bats in this game, especially with the fact that we're late and there's only an inning left after this one. But obviously you want to take advantage as much as possible.
Bernie, you had mentioned infield chatter a little moment ago, or a few moments ago, half inning ago. Select 30 Baseball on infield chatter has 4,000 followers.
Wow. Actually, I think that's on Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter. Well, you know, in my world, the only social media is infield chatter. That's right.
So fly out to right field. We are having a lot of fun. We could tell you a little bit more about the fun things happening infield chatter-wise when we come back. We're going to talk to Nico Rudas, who hit the 2-run home run. There we are. This is a look at what happened this week on infield chatter. They had a dance contest. They were boogieing it down. I saw you in the booth dancing, so I know now with the real Matt T, we probably could submit the video. We already have it as a GIF out there on social media. And no matter where they were here in Central Florida, the S30 players are boogieing it down. It's all about the style.
Yeah, I recommend we don't put my video on there.
And right now they have a contest if you download the app. And, of course, if you go on and follow at USSSA, you got a chance to win an autographed either American League or National League All-Star Baseball.
And that ball's autographed by the entire either American League team or National League team from the All-Star game.
It's all about infield chatter for the players, by the players, for the fans. And speaking of which, I'm sure that Nico, you could probably show some of the major leaguers now on infield chatter his 2-run home run. He is down on the field with Ashlyn Sullivan. Ashlyn?
Thanks, Bernie. Nico, how are you enjoying yourself so far this week?
It feels good out here. I wasn't doing so great during the week, but right now I'm doing really good.
And do you think that's important to play especially well today?
Yes, ma'am. It really is.
And what has been your favorite part so far about this tournament?
Just playing here at Champion Stadium, getting to hit a home run. Feels pretty good to do that.
And your dad is here supporting you. What's it like to have family support while you're out here?
Very good. Feels heartwarming.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Ashlyn. Now we get a chance to see one of the top pitchers in the entire country, and Cade Anderson. We get to see Lewis on the mound because we really wanted to see a look at his arm strength against really good competition. And, you know, no matter what we've seen, probably the biggest thing that I've witnessed this week is there are tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of talent out there. I would think that the job for the scouts to pick this Select 30 was probably a monumental task. And then afterwards, obviously the task to split the teams up was a monumental task. The one thing that we saw from the 22-4 game, I think it was a couple ago, is take a look at these jokesters behind home plate. You know, it's a full-time job. Not only keeping the teammates and the players at bay, but also picking these talented roster staffs.
I want to know where the pie plate of shaving cream is, or the towel full of shaving cream. That's all that was missing from that.
Benjamin Greenberg at the plate.
No, you're right, Bernie. The level of talent here this week has just been amazing. And I'm going to tell you something. The task force, with the talent they had to deal with and to work with, you know, the job of getting it down to 30 players from, you know, like in the 10-year-olds, there was like 150 or 160. And, you know, Johnny Hernandez's group just absolutely did a fantastic job. Of course, you could only have the Select 30, where we probably could have picked a Select 60 if we needed to. I mean, there was that much talent in that group. But you can only take 30. But that's a job that I'm so glad I don't have to deal with. And that's his bread and butter. And, you know, hats off to him and his staff, because they did an absolute fabulous job this week in putting together these top prospect squads to play in the top prospect games.
Yeah, it wasn't easy during the week to evaluate it, but, you know, they had obviously some of the insight from the major leaguers, who I got a chance to watch during the week as well and enjoy the influence.
Well, I walked in the war room one evening as my staff was wrapping up, and the task force, they were just getting started with their debates, if you want to call it that. And I'm going to tell you this much. I thought I was at the Republican National Convention with the screaming and yelling that was going on. It was unbelievable.
Look at that pitch by Kate Anderson. Spectacular. Now it's Riley Hansen batting here. Some dark clouds around us, but we're hopeful that they will stay far enough away to keep us playing baseball. It was a little bit better day forecast-wise, but it is the summer and you're in Central Florida. And typically, you're going to see some rain because of that. Riley Hansen out of Port Richey, Florida. Two balls, two strikes with two away, and Kate Anderson trying to work a 1-2-3 fifth inning. Swing and a miss. He's got all the tools, doesn't he?
Cade pitched a beauty.
Comes in.
Thing about the overnight success story. It doesn't happen overnight. It starts here. Here. And here. And after all that, you still gotta earn it here. When you step in the box, you gotta be focused. You gotta forget the dugout, ignore the crowd. You can't worry about the guy on the mound, because in the end, there's only two things that really matter at the plate. You and your bat.
The batter for Team Red, number 30, Matthew Rose.
Matthew Rose is the batter. And Rose lifts this one out to right field. It's carrying, but not far enough.
One out. Now coming to the plate, number 29, Reed Tensman.
Reed Tinsman is your batter here. Tinsman, we saw a launch one. The bats have been very impressive today.
Well, not only can he launch home runs, but he also can hit to the opposite field. That's beautiful right there. He took that pitch on the outer third, and instead of trying to wrap the barrel around it and pull it, he just cast the barrel at it and blooped it over the shortstop's head. Beautiful piece of hitting.
Caleb Brandon at the plate. They're already up 7-2. Pitch on the outside corner for a ball. It's 1-1. Brandon, this one, and sometimes, you know, you feel like the floaters are going to fall in, and sometimes it just keeps floating, and that's what we had there. So there's 2 quick outs.
Now batting with 2 outs, number 20, Joshua Labrada.
Joshua Labrada now. Labrada's the batter. An 0 for 2 day for Labrada. Fly out and a foul out.
I got it, Burn. I got it, Burn.
Where's your net? Never came.
Came up a little short. Wind held that one up.
I thought he had a good crack at it, to be honest with you. It came awfully close to right where you needed to be. And we see a stolen base opportunity.
And it looks like a fan from Dunwoody, Georgia, grabbed that foul ball.
I know a couple of people from Dunwoody, Georgia, I'm going to assume.
That I do.
Down the line, it's a fair ball into the corner. And it will go as a double.
And most importantly, the red team tacks on yet another insurance run. And they tack that one on with 2 outs.
Now batting number 21, Xavier Cavanaugh.
Xavier Cavanaugh now at the plate. Cavanaugh is down on strikes, and now the Navy coming back to the plate. That'll retire the side.
Qualifying is on to be a Boomba All-American, and this year's USSSA All-American Games have been expanded to create more opportunities for more players. This year, there'll be 24 regional showcase tryouts that will select 2 teams per region with 12 players on each team, allowing the athletes to compete in an average of 22 innings of play during the tournament. Also new for this year is a 3-game single-elimination championship bracket. Get evaluated in hitting, running, and 2 defensive positions of your choice for your chance to qualify for the Boomba All-American Games. Get more information at USSSAallamerican.com.
Now pitching for Team Red, number 4, Brandon White.
All right, Brandon White at the plate. To bring you back for, it's going to be the final half inning.
The whole half of the 6th inning for Team Navy, number 13, Brody Mangold.
Brody Mangold at the plate. Got 2 more games for you tonight. About 30 minutes from now, 13U. And then we will finish things off with our final game of the day, the 14U championship game.
Now coming to the plate with 1 out, number 17, Gregory Willis.
Gregory Willis at the plate for this final half inning of play. So Willis is the batter. Willis, 1 and 2. Brandon White trying to close things off.
Foul ball trickles there into the third base dugout.
Well, our group's got to do a little work. After this half inning, we got to move a table, move the camera back as you see Willis hop this one to the fence. So that'll be a little bit interesting, right?
Yeah. Yeah, at the rate we're going, though, Bernie, we're going to have plenty of time to get that done. This game has been a race.
What time's our next game scheduled for?
6:05.
Wow. A whole hour from now?
Yeah.
What are we going to do for an hour?
Rest.
All right.
Rest. Get out of the sun and the heat.
Our crew said they're already ready for dinner.
Well, it just so happens, Bern, that the crew chef is in the broadcast booth right now. And we're looking to see if our firecracker chili is ready to go. And we're getting a double thumbs up.
All right, so you're in.
The crew's eating dinner. That's what we're doing.
Kerr. This one fouled away.
And it looks like, yep, Sean Varela from O'Fallon, Missouri got that foul ball.
You know Sean?
I do know Sean.
There we are in the broadcast booth. Everybody is taken care of. Obviously, when your wife is taking care of the group, the team.
I said she was the crew chef.
Yeah. Does she travel? That's the question. When
No.
we bring the show on the road.
Oh, she loves to travel.
Does she?
But she doesn't want to travel where you go. No, I am forced to take her to slightly more exotic places than that. If there's a beach in an airplane ride, she's there.
But I don't know about the beach, but we can promise that a lot of the journeys of the Select 30 around the country outside of the Florida locations need an airplane ride.
20 of them. 20 of the 22.
I mean, I guess if you're really into it, you could drive to a handful of them, including Georgia from Florida. I mean, if you just were really upset and just said you got to drive.
Bernie, have you recently driven up I-75 from Ocala to Atlanta?
I haven't done it in a long time. To see Kerr hit this one into center field. It is gone! Kerr, a 2-run home run. 8-4.
That was a line drive that cleared the dead center field 275 mark. Landed a good 12 to 15 feet behind the wall, behind the fence. A good 290 foot, almost 300 foot home run.
Number 20, Jamora Johnson.
Jamora Johnson now. Little slow roller. They flip it over to first, and now the red team is 1 out away from closing down shop here in this top prospect game.
2 outs.
Ashland's going to try to catch up with Kate Anderson after the game, of course, barring some type of 2-out heroics here. Never want to hold back, because obviously anything can happen with an out remaining. Well, we saw Rudis hit a home run earlier. Has he got that type of pop to do it again? That's the question here. Little lazy pop-up called for, caught, and the red team wins the 12U S30 top prospect game 8-4. the fans out there making them work. And now we've got about an hour, I guess, or so before we get a chance to see a little more baseball. Matt Trebuchet, Ashlyn Sullivan, our entire top prospect crew. Bernie Gunther saying so long for now. We will see you right back here in about an hour for the 13U top prospect game.
With direct flights daily, your vacation begins at GoMelbourneFlorida.com.
Qualifying is on to be a Boomba All-American, and this year's USSSA All-American Games have been expanded to create more opportunities for more players. This year, there'll be 24 regional showcase tryouts that will select 2 teams per region with 12 players on each team, allowing the athletes to compete in an average of 22 innings of play during the tournament. Also new for this year is a 3-game single-elimination championship bracket. Get evaluated in hitting, running, and 2 defensive positions of your choice for your chance to qualify for the Boomba All-American Games. Get more information at USSSAallamerican.com.
Funny thing about the overnight success story, it doesn't happen overnight. It starts here. Here. And here. And after all that, you still gotta earn it here. When you step in the box, you gotta be focused. You gotta forget the dugout, ignore the crowd. You can't worry about the guy on the mound, because in the end, there's only 2 things that really matter at the plate. You and your bat.
With direct flights daily, your vacation begins at GoMelbourneFlorida.com.
Cocoa Beach, the authentic beach town, where the sand is our building blocks and a board is our preferred mode of transportation. A place where memories are awakened by the sound of a wave. It's the home of the original, home to the iconic, and home of the legendary. Cocoa Beach. It's still cool. Your beach vacation begins at GoCocoBeach.com.
The Space Coast is becoming the nation's premier sports destination with the USSSA Space Coast Complex right here in the heart of Viera, Florida. The complex is currently undergoing over $30 million of renovation, which will transform the former Major League Baseball spring training facility into a state-of-the-art 15-field, all-turf, multi-sport facility, which will host USSSA's most prestigious events. USSSA Space Coast Complex will utilize the latest technology. Each field will feature FlightScope's ball tracking technology capturing advanced analytics of each play, while cameras on every field will allow for video analysis and live streaming. A world-class 4K capable video production control room will allow the complex to produce network quality broadcasts on the field, which will be lit using cutting-edge LED technology. The facility will feature 3 championship fields with stadium seating and video boards, as well as an 18,000 square foot indoor facility. In the complex's first full year, over 500,000 visitors will be welcomed to the park, taking part in over 50 events.
USSSA Space Coast Stadium will soon become the place to play for the top athletes and teams around the country. USSSA is the stage where the nation's top sports stars shine for the country to see. On the diamond, the top baseball players are looking to be chosen by the Select 30 and compete as a team at the National Amateur Baseball Championships. In Fast Pitch, USA Elite Select and the World Fast Pitch Championships brings together premier players and teams from across the country to play for the title and continue their dream of one day playing professional softball. While Nationwide Conference USSSA hosts the stars of slow pitch softball. Take your game to the next level. Play the best. Play USSSA.
3 experience.
Less than 1 year later, here we are. And we've been very busy and believing in this project, giving this association the new chapter. Now this is the final stop for at least the next 20 years.
The Select 30 has made its way to ESPN's wide world of sports, where some of the most elite talent in youth baseball are showcasing their skills.
What was important for me, for our staff, is to get good baseball guys. Guys that are able to instruct, guys that were on our mission as far as development is a concern within the youth game. I think that that's very important, and that's something that our Select 30 Task Force members are all on board with, assisting the youth baseball community in development of baseball.
The Select 30 Task Force features impressive baseball resumes. It's comprised of former professional and college players, as well as college coaches.
There's 2 guys on our staff that we're fortunate enough to play at the highest level of Division I baseball at Omaha. 2 national championship World Series wins. We have Darryl Roque. He was on the 1999 Miami Hurricanes national championship team, and one of our scouts is Adrian Morales.